Hi loves, this is BB, Cigar Saint Sister. It's Stogies and conversation time. So are you ready? I hope so, and thanks for visiting. So let's enjoy some stogies and conversation. I'm BB, Cigara Saint Cistar. Hi loves, this is BB, Cigara Saint Sister, and welcome to the Cigar Lifestyle. I am an aficionado, 27 years just living the lifestyle of cigars and tobacco authentically, and I'm somewhere between saint and sinner. If you're new to the channel for the first time and you've RSVP'd as a VIP, I like to call my followers VIPs, welcome. And if you are returning and a subscriber, welcome back. I have already begun to enjoy a Barberpole. Check it out. This is the lovely Barberpole by Lafaraona Cigars in Ybor City, by the lovely hand-rolled signature of Odelma cigar rolling Matos, my Cubana sister in spirit. It has been cut lovely, and it feels really good in my hands. And the give, let me just show you, it gives back perfectly. I've had this cigar in my humidor for a few years. So it is not dry, and it gives just enough love back. When I say give, I mean like you press it and then it bounces back up. So it's just right. And I love the veins in this. It's so lovely. And I'm going into my second third. And I love it. This episode is all about enjoying a cigar, stogie, Cigara, I love saying that, enjoying some lovely red wine, and I'm going to have a few pinches of snuff. So I hope that you have your essentials to join me. This is lovely. And I grabbed a lot of the Barberpoles from Lafaraona Cigars, and they're just lovely, very tasty. You have beautiful notes of cream, vanilla, bean, cocoa, coffee, and just a nice hint of black pepper in there. Absolutely lovely. And I love that Lafaraona Cigars, they're in my lovely hometown of Tampa. What's up, everyone? And also with me being Cubana, I love that as well. So she's always showing me love. They're always showing me love. And I love their cigars. I even have some bigger sticks that she hand-rolled for me. And if you visit my platforms, you can see the love shown back as I show her love. And it's just wonderful. Lovely. And with the cap, I cut off just enough. You don't need to ever cut off a lot, just enough, so you can enjoy your cigars. You know, you don't want to do too much whereas you're just like, oh my gosh, I cut too much off. And then I have my lovely floret, my roses. I have them in different colors, and they're so cute. So I decided not to do the obvious red in my hair. I decided just to do the block. And then my hair, I'm so happy that the hair is finally poofing, because that's what I love. I love a poofy design. And then we got great music here to enjoy. So, conversations today is just about inspiring and being your authentic self. And I think that's where a lot of people, they kind of go in a different direction on as far as social networking. There are always yin yang and, light, dark of any situation, and that's life. But for social networking, it seems that a lot of people, have let social networking overtake them instead of you keeping the reins in of your points of view for social networking. Yeah. Lovely. So I thought the conversation would be really, really good, and, just bringing that up because I see so many people with me being in the industry. They just really have a hard time, not everyone, but some people, they get caught up in this whole, I want the instantaneous success. I want the instantaneous numbers that really gives me validation. No, it does not. Now, that's not saying that numbers don't give you validation. As far as like people feeling your groove and your points of view and what you're putting out there. It's lovely to see that. But people really lose their minds, when it comes to follower counts and trying to be this whole popularity type thing. And then they could really go down a slippery slope of doing things that can take you out of your character unless that's your true character. Now, I've been in the industry since the age of 6. I started reading music at the age of 6, and then I started performing professionally the flute at the age of 7 and doing gigs. And then from there, I began my writing career really early, like around 9. And then going up to middle school, they started taking me out of the regular classroom settings to do a lot more writing. And then from there, when I got in college and all of that, worked at newspapers and television and stuff like that. And then I kept indulging in my writing. And then I began my sports broadcasting career, sports broadcasting, sports writing, reporting, and all of that. And then I decided to, become a publisher of a magazine. And then from there, also being a voiceover professional. And then look, I'm now on YouTube with the love of my points of view with the cigars. And I always try to keep everything signature. And that's what a lot of people should do. Keep it signature. And really own your passions. Yeah. If you don't own your passions, then other things will start to own you. And if you don't watch the company that you keep or your crew or anything like that, sometimes they may have you doing things that take you out of your character. And there's always people watching what any of us do. So you have to use wisdom, you have to use common sense, and really be about being your higher selves and your better selves. But there are some people who have this whole thing where social networking becomes competition, and all of that really is in your head, because people like myself who have gone leaps and bounds on success through hard work, tirelessly hard work, and they're making moves and stuff like that, they probably don't even know that you exist, or they're not in competition with anyone. I can speak for myself. There is no one that I'm in competition with. Nobody. I'm inspired by a lot of people, but I never, ever try to mirror myself after someone or anything like that, because you always want to be definitive. You can always be inspired by people, but that doesn't mean that you go copy their style or try to hone in on something that they're doing. I tell you what that makes you look like. The weakest link. You and your crew, if you have a crew, or your people behind you, if they're telling you to do childish things and copy people or come in on people, things like that, you have the wrong crew. And they make you look bad, and you look bad. And you make the other person say, oh, they're the weakest link. Don't be anybody's weakest link. Social networking will just have people going all out of character for people who may not even know that you existed, can cause confrontations in your mind. That may not even be that way. Because a lot of successful people, they are honed in on their stuff, and they could be the nicest people that you would ever meet that could maybe help you in things. But if you're out here wild and just acting real crazy and doing things, to get a laugh, but you're still looking like the weakest link or something, I mean, that's not good branding. So I just think people need to really ease up with themselves and be better versions of themselves. So that's part of the conversation. I mean, I learned early on, and that's why I had the edge, because my family is a public figure family, and, they were giving those life lessons, to the hilt, smiling faces. It's not always smiling faces. People who pay the most attention may not be in the cheering squad. Sometimes they could be, and it's really not a cheering squad. Own your moments. You're going to make mistakes, but, don't keep repeating, making the same mistakes and stuff like that. So it was always learning lessons, coming at all of us. And even through that, we all did our share of mistakes and stuff like that, but we learned from them, not to be repetitive, and people, for example, myself, my platforms may not have the highest numbers, but I get some really great looks from different people that come on. So it's about the quality, not always the quantity. And then besides, a lot of those follower listings are paid. How do you have 50,000 followers and you only get like 1,000 to 2,000 likes? Does that make sense? I remember the birth of the internet. Now I'm only in my 4th decade of life. Okay, I remember dial-up. AOL. This is lovely. Beautiful notes of cocoa, vanilla, the creaminess, the smoothness, and then that little bite of pepper. It's lovely. I love that. So remembering that early vibe of the internet, I mean, I had to look at numbers, even trying to do my digital magazine. I was one of the pioneers for a full-featured digital magazine. I had no one to look to when I embarked on a digital magazine. I am the only woman of color still publishing today who created the digital magazine. And there was Nia Online from Chicago that was the first. And I was so inspired by them, but I never ever let my platform look anything like theirs. I never tried to jump in on their platform type vibes. Never. Because you want to be your own definitive person. Hope you're smoking lovely. So there was another Bahia Online that came after me, and I used to have this this fictional 5 girls in Charlotte living their lives, and it was called Cashmere. And I'm thinking about putting that into the books. I still have all the writings and stuff, just kind of thinking it over. And when Bahia Online came, she did Brownstone with the 5 girls. And even though I felt like that could have been a little bit of inspiration for me, it was totally different, and she kept her platform way different. And so I always show love to the pioneers of the digital magazines coming from women of color. And with me still being the remaining one for 15 years, I still show love to them, but we all have different points of view. So then coming in with that and looking at statistical numbers and stuff, that's why I always tell people, when it doesn't add up, it can be bought. And there's nothing wrong if you want to buy numbers to make you look good and your following listing, but it makes no sense, because if you have 50,000 followers and only 2,000 likes, are the rest of them asleep? Come on. You have to think about that. All right, so I have a lovely red here by the GALLO family. Beautiful. See that? Not only does it look good, but it tastes good. So cheers to the GALLO family. I love a nice red. I hope you are enjoying some cigars and something to drink, even if it's not alcoholic or non-alcoholic. And then I have some snuff that I want to show you. The snuff that I'm going to be enjoying is Dholakia Rose Chocolate. This is beautiful. This is a beautiful snuff. Chocolate spicy. Very potent within the nose and then lasts all day. So if you don't want an all day snuff, or if you want to do this and then clean your nose out and try something else, then you can. But when I want to smell this beautiful fragrance of chocolate and rose with a nice spice kick, this is it. Dholakia Rose Chocolate. Now I got this off of Mr. Snuff, and when you buy these or place your order from the UK, it gets to the United States in about 2 weeks. So I love that, and that's pretty record time for going through the channels of paperwork and all of that. So that's lovely. So as I introduced before, I have my little Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer that I put in the snuff, and I've let the snuff air out to get in the beautiful note, and there you have some of the snuff. And then oh my gosh, that is so lovely. And then what I'm gonna do is get my handkerchief. I don't want any remnants, you know, on my nose. And I do that as a practice, even when I'm by myself. So there's some more snuff. And that's it. This is my paisley. I think you can see it now since we have natural lighting. It's paisley and it's beautiful. And then I just wipe my nose. Do you see anything? And that's how it should be. It is so fragrant and it is so beautiful. And then when you pair it with a nice cigar, it's even lovelier. Now I'm probably gonna have to relight this. I did like a light touch. I'll show you. Visuals is everything. So yeah, people just need to be really, really easy when it comes to social networking, and just enjoy yourself and have your great points of view. You'll thank yourself always for just enjoying it. And when you feel some kind of way about how people post things or what they post and stuff like that, it might be time for you to ease back, because you should always be online and be your happiest, inspired, that kind of vibe. I love the open draw of this, and it's so beautiful because when you bring a cigar home to your own environment, it settles in nicely and it opens up beautifully. Always be a work of progress with yourself, because when you're a work of progress, then you would never catch yourself being out of order, and you can just really enjoy yourself on social networking, and not just online, but enjoy yourself offline. I always think people need a little sabbatical, And if you start getting a little crazed and, you know, taking yourself out of character, if that happens, you know, to just kind of give yourself a sabbatical off social networking. Because doing too much people watching can sometimes put people in a bad space. Now, I want to show you my box here. This is the Arturo Fuente box that I pulled my cigar out of. This is the Florafina 858, and I just love it. See, I'm looking like one of those people on the game shows. But I love the finish on this box. And then, you know, with the Fuentes being from Tampa like myself and being Cubana like myself, you know, I was just like, yes, this is what's going to go into my cigar doors, which is wine coolers that are converted into a cigar humidor that's refrigerated and keeps your cigars nice and lovely. And I'll be talking more about that, but yeah, this is a lovely box and I just love it. So these fit, if they were all Arturo Fuentes, they would fit 25 cigars, but because I got different arrays in here, and of course you can't have a Fuente box without having Fuentes in them. So it's about 20 cigars that goes in here if they're not all the Fuentes. And I got different style boxes of Arturo Fuente that lines beautifully my cigar doors, because I didn't want to measure my shelves and then get a builder to do me cigar Spanish cedar shelves, drawers, or trays. I just didn't have the time for that, because those usually run about, you place the order, they get the order, they have to build it, and then they have to ship it back. Sometimes that takes up to 3 months, and I didn't have that kind of patience. I wanted mine to be straight. And then I got the Frigidaire and the Igloo, because the New Era is really popular. I looked at it, and even though it's wonderful, because a lot of my friends and family, they have the New Era when they converted some of their cigars over, but it was a little too masculine for me, and I wanted something a little bit more feminine. So that's why I got the Igloo, which is a trusted brand, and the Frigidaire. This is so lovely. It's opening up so great. And then I just got a touch of the floral. That's one thing about me. I love a nice floral that creeps through there. And then with my palette having that wine, and then with that rose coming through, and then coming through the bloodstream and coming all over, it's a lovely, lovely pair. Now I'm going to have a little bit more of that Dholakia rose chocolate. So if you go to Mr. Snuff online, they were out of the Dholakia rose chocolate. Having a little bit more. It's lovely. And then nose. Okay. A little bit more wine. Just lovely. You can always be inspired by a lot of people. Like I said, I have no competition but myself. I'm very much a proud perfectionist to a certain degree, and then I have to rein my own self back in. But I'm inspired by a lot of people who came before me. Even people now, I'll be like, oh, that's really good. But I love people's point of view, and I'm going to always have my point of view. And I'm not going to, intrude on anybody else's, Again, who wants to be the weakest link? You don't want that. And then with people watching, you never know who would be like, gosh, I really was going to kind of maybe give some kind of opportunity to them, but oh my gosh, it's so childish. No. You never want to shoot yourself in the foot. Watch your moves. So I hope that you're smoking lovely. I love this. This second third has just been wonderful. So one love to Lafaraona Cigars and to Odelma Cigar Rolling Matos. This is lovely. And the ash, I love my ash. I like a blooming ash. I like that. So lovely. And thanks so much to everyone who showed love on the platforms. It's just been so great. Thank you so much. Nice even burn, feels great in the hands, and giving a nice head rush. A lot of times when I'm reviewing the cigars, I talk about the head rush. That's my signature for BB Cigar St. Cistar. And the head rush factor, it usually comes after I am completely done with the cigar, but even while I'm having it, if it's giving a good effervescence chill, then it's good. And this is a nice head rush. Talking about dial-up, oh my gosh. Back then, before high-speed internet, you'd wait for the little man to run and hear the dial tone and stuff with AOL. Oh gosh, that is so funny. And if you go right here on YouTube and you pull that up, it's so funny. You just be like, oh my gosh. Digital. This is super lovely, and I hope that you're having a good time as well. I was saying on my platforms that I bought some vintage cigar accessories, snuff accessories, and pipe accessories, and it's just been wonderful. So if you're enjoying your cigar and your snuff, or if you're enjoying your pipe and you're enjoying this video, I really appreciate that. We have a little bit more of this gallo. I love wearing my rosaries in my hair when I go dancing or when I'm traveling. And I love Billie Holiday, so again, it's just a beautiful ode to Billie Holiday and just gives that senorita chica vibe. Creaminess, vanilla, coffee bean, cocoa, just lovely. It's even great when you take it through the nose as well. That nice burn, taking it through the nose is lovely. But if you don't want to do that, don't. Do what you do, how you do. And that Dholakia rose chocolate, I'm going to show you that package again. So if you're interested, this is the box, and it's like a tap box. This is the Indian snuff, and it's just beautiful. And you can slide the tap box back, and then you can put a little bit on your hand, and you could do like that if you want to. So, you know, you could take your nasal snuff however you want to. But yeah, the Dholakia rose chocolate is absolutely beautiful. Social networking is just a beautiful thing. Keep it beautiful, keep yourself beautiful, and always be signature. It takes you places. You never want to be a copy, and you don't want to be looking like the weakest link for anybody. No, 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 no. No bueno. It's going to be more up close and personal right here at Cigar St. Cistar. And then Cigar St. Cistar Live is going to be a lot more live moments as well. And I can't wait to get back into cruising in my ESV or whatever else I'm driving and enjoying a cigar as I ride. I love to cruise and put on some good music. It's wonderful. And I want to show love to everyone on my private Cigar Saint Sister platform over on Instagram. We have a great time. What goes on in the privado stays in the privado. So thank you so much for the love as well. Cheers to us, sisters and brothers of the leaf. Cigar lifestyle has really taken off by leaps and bounds. And make sure you support your B&Ms. That's very important. And I make sure that I do my part. Story time is just always good. An inspirational vibe is just always good. It's always good to be that inspiration for people. The whole pay it forward vibe. More to come. Thanks for locking in. I'm going to finish the rest of that off camera. You've been wonderful. My little hair jewelry, the pyramids, decided to bring them back. Well, thank you so much for locking in. I'm BB, Cigar Saint Sister, living the cigar lifestyle somewhere between saint and sinner. And thank you so much.
So that was fun. That was cool. More conversations and stogies to come. Thanks so much for visiting. Subscribe if you vibe, VIPs.